If I am to attend your brother, then I want something in exchange.
Outlander is one of the most popular series still on television. Since the first episode ran on August 9th, 2014, the series has kept us royally entertained, and the 7th season is on its way. The story of Outlander is an epic love story between Jamie and Claire, with wild adventures and moments of extreme violence thrown in. Time travel is the cherry on top of the cake, as the show now sees the lovers in the new world. With so many great actors, we wanted to know which ones were the most loved and most hated. So please enjoy the video. These are the most loved and hated cast members of Outlander. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos that we post. What is Outlander? Outlander follows the story of Claire Randall, a married combat nurse from 1945 who is mysteriously swept back in time to 1743, where she's immediately thrown into an unknown world in which her life is threatened. When she's forced to marry Jamie Fraser, a chivalrous and romantic young Scottish warrior, a passionate relationship is ignited that tears Claire's heart between the two vastly different men in two irreconcilable lives. To make things even more complicated, the antagonist John Randall looks exactly like Claire's husband in the 20th century. Randall hounds Claire and Jamie in the first 2 seasons, making lives very difficult for them and causing them trauma. César Domboy is Fergus, the 5th most loved character. César Domboy is a French actor best known for The Walk and his recurring role as Fergus Claudel Fraser in Outlander. Fergus Fraser, formerly known as Claudel, is a French immigrant to the American colonies via Scotland. Born in Paris, he grew up in a brothel, not knowing who his true parents were or if they're still alive. In 1744, while Jamie and Claire Fraser lived in Paris, Jamie hired him as the pickpocket and gave him his new Scottish name and home. Fergus becomes like a son to Jamie and Claire. His friendly and caring personality endears him to one and all, which makes him one of the most loved characters in Outlander. Governor Tryon, as played by Tim Downey, is the 4th most hated character. The governor is seen as typical to the popular image of the British senior officers at the time: dry, egotistic, and wicked. It was possibly the moment when Tryon forced Jamie into wearing the red coat, the uniform of the British Army during the Battle of Almance, that fans hated him the most. And then of course he was keen to kill the regulators and cause loss of lives rather than opt for truce. Tryon was also responsible for the death of one of the most beloved characters on the show, Murtaugh, for without the battle, Murtaugh would have been alive. Which brings us to the next character. Duncan Lacroix, played by Murtaugh Fraser, is the 4th most loved character. Murtaugh Fraser is Jamie's godfather and companion. He is the kind of person that Jamie and Claire trusted with their lives. Lacroix was born in Wales, UK. He is known for his roles in Outlaw King, 2018, Vikings, 2014, and The Sister's Brother, Man in Catman Attack 2, 2018, among others. In Outlaw King, he plays Henry de Percy. It's a true David versus Goliath story of how the 14th century Scottish outlaw king Robert the Bruce used cunning and bravery to defeat the much larger and better equipped occupying English army. In Outlander, he becomes a reliable and loved character, and his subsequent death is difficult for fans to accept. His accent and big heart is missed by one and all. Gaelis Duncan, played by Lotte Verbeek, is the 3rd most hated character. Gaelic Duncan was a supporting character in season 1 and then the chief antagonist of season 3. She was rather unhinged and didn't place much value on human life, taking it as and when it suited her. Gaelis was perhaps not as hateful as the Duke or say Black Jack Randall, but like the latter, she was an intriguing character who couldn't be discounted even when she behaved atrociously. She started off as a friend and possible comrade to Claire, but then turned into the person she became. Sophie Skelton plays Brianna Randall Fraser, the 3rd most loved character. Sophie Alexandra Skelton is an English actress. She is best known for playing the daughter of Jamie and Claire in Outlander. Brianna Ellen Randall Fraser Mackenzie is the 2nd daughter of Claire and Jamie Fraser. Brianna did not know the story of her true parentage until after the man she had thought was her father, Frank Randall, had died, and her mother took her to Scotland, where she told Brianna and Roger Mackenzie about her journey through time and her life with Jamie. Brianna is loved for just being a great person and for being the daughter of Jamie and Claire. She represents their love for each other and therefore has the audience behind her. Brianna has been going through a lot, despite the sexual assault and degradation she went through under the hands of especially Stephen Bonnet. Which gives us a segue to Ed Spielers, who plays Stephen Bonnet, the 2nd most hated character. Stephen Bonnet was yet another amoral character who kept popping back into the lives of Claire and her family like a bad penny. He is a pirate, smuggler, and part-time murderer, and all-around disreputable character, whom Jamie and Claire Fraser first met as they leave Charleston, South Carolina. Bonnet attacked the boat carrying Claire, Jamie, and their friends on the way to River Run and then attacked Brianna. His single most hated act is probably bringing Brianna in his cabin. It's censored because it was a foul thing to do. The second time he abducts Brianna, he does not, but has sex with a prostitute and forces her to watch. She is then made to sleep next to him at night. Bonnet even takes Brianna to his house on Ocracoke, where he represents her for sale to prospective buyers. He was also prone to summarily throwing passengers off his ship, whether or not they were affected by smallpox. Bonnet was vile, and his association with the Frasers was unwanted, to say the least. After Jack Randall, he is the most hated character in Outlander. Sam Heughan, who plays Jamie, the second most loved character. Sam Rowland Heughan is a Scottish actor, producer, author, and entrepreneur. Unlike Caitriona, he is less famous and he has played in lesser known movies in his career with a net worth of $5 million and gets paid $100,000 per episode of Outlander. Nice. Sam's better known movie after Outlander is probably A Princess for Christmas, 2011. In the movie, he plays Ashton Prince of Castleberry. Jamie has been through a lot and his love for Claire is his most defining principle, which places him after Claire in terms of most loved characters. If fans have to choose between Jamie and Claire for the most obscure reason, we will feel most will choose Claire's side. But if his appearance has anything to do with it, we might be proven wrong. What also makes Jamie so likable is that he's willing to die for Claire, as she's willing to die for him. Is there stronger love than this? Tobias Menzies, who plays Frank Randall, is the most hated character. Frank Randall must go down as one of the most despised antagonists in television history. Hannon, Tobias Simpson Menzies, is an English stage, television, and film actor. He is best known for playing Frank and Jonathan Blackjack Randall. His net worth is estimated to be around $4 million. He's good at playing the villain. He plays Marius in Underworld, Blood Wars 2016 with Kate Beckinsale. Marius was the Lycan leader and the main male antagonist of Underworld, Blood Wars. He is the new leader of the Lycans following the purges and the decimation of the antigen Lycans by Selene, played by Beckinsale. Menzies also played Marcus Junius Brutus in the series Rome 2005 to 2007. Marcus Junius Brutus, often referred to simply as Brutus, was a Roman senator and the most famous of the assassins of Julius Caesar. After being adopted by an uncle, he used the name Quintus Servilius Capio Brutus, but subsequently returned to his birth name. Brutus was close to General Julius Caesar, the leader of the Popularis faction. Poor Tobias is unfortunately remembered for being the heartless villain in Outlander who almost raped Claire in the very first scene and later actually sodomized and tortured Jamie. Frank Randall is definitely first on our list of most hated characters in Outlander. I think most of you are with us on this one. Caitriona Balfe is the most loved character, Claire Randall. Caitriona Balfe is the most loved character, Claire Randall. Caitriona is an English actress, producer, and former fashion model. She gave up modeling for acting, and we're thankful she did. Caitriona is not only pleasant to watch, but she's a fantastic actress as well. Caitriona is known for her role in the 2013 Escape Plan with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Caitriona has also played in the movie Money Monster 2016 with George Clooney and Julia Roberts. Belle played the role of Diane Lester. She availed herself well in her role as we expected from such a rising talent. Caitriona is 41 already, so we're not sure how much more her career can offer, but Outlander is a great series and she'll probably be remembered for it. She is paid an estimated $100,000 per episode and already has a net worth of $4 million. During season 1 of the show, she claims that she receives an abysmal salary, which can be expected for a relatively new actor. The showrunners took a chance on her and, well, won. All that we know is her story drives the show and finds deep resonance within us. With everything she has been through, we are always rooting for Claire and we automatically dislike her enemies. The fact that Claire's attractive puts her at the top of the list of most loved characters. That's the end of our list. We hope you agree, but feel free to leave a comment anyways. We always enjoy reading what everybody has to say. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back for our next video. Until then, take care.